I am starting to dress like Smalls from Sandlot in my older age. I don't know if you guys, in my older age, I'm still young. I'm still young. I realize, though, my references are starting to sound outdated, like Smalls from Sandlot. A lot of you guys don't even know what that movie is. Sound like an old person, like, you remind me of Gary Peppercorn. It's like, who is Gary Peppercorn? It's like, from Andy Griffith. What I came here to talk about today was self-help addiction. Like, I get addiction, trust me. I maxed out 4 credit cards at a Tony Robbins Firewalk seminar. If you could see my bookshelf, you would think that I'm insane. It's just hundreds of self-help books. You'd be like, man, this guy's really trying to work on himself. Does he eat people? What is he trying to overcome? And the answer is yes, I actually do eat people. See, I live in Los Angeles where people are in pursuit of a dream. And a lot of times whenever you pursue a dream, it's like a toilet plunger gets stuck to the top of your head and it just sucks up all the insecurities from childhood. No, but there's like a lot of self-soothing here. People do so much personal work that it feels like they're trying to morph into a ball of light. Here's the thing. I just recently gave up self-help. Yes, you heard that correctly. I actually am abstaining from my self-help addiction. Now, please excuse me while I go snort this book about having a millionaire mindset. Self-help helped me. That's actually the name of a self-help book. My money-making mindset is clicking in. Here's what happened. I moved to Los Angeles, and when I was in Chicago, I remember that I started to actually look myself in the mirror, which is a very powerful thing because my mirror was dirty. That was such a dad joke that just popped out. Trust me, I would never pre-plan to say something like that. But I started to look at myself and I started to realize that if I wanted to get to a certain place in life, I had to assess myself and I had to look at what was holding me back in life. And I remember when I discovered Tony Robbins, and it was the first person to tell me, hey, you're not mentally ill, you just have a series of habits that your brain is going into unconsciously. And when I found out that I could change my brain and change the way I thought, I went nuts with this stuff. So when I was in Chicago, I struggled with anxiety a lot on stage, I drank a lot, so I moved to LA. And I was doing Tony Robbins stuff. I was doing about 3 to 4 hours of personal growth a day, which is insane. Listening to Tony Robbins, shadow boxing, running around the block, saying affirmations out loud. And within 6 months, I had a really big comedy manager. 6 months in living in Los Angeles. And the guy who used to represent Paul Reiser and Prince, yes, Prince, the famous Prince, wanted to represent me. But what ended up happening was I had to keep doing more and more and more self-help. And this is where self-help gets weird, because a lot of times you think that you're getting over something, but what you're doing is it's another form of covering up what you feel is wrong with you. And so you're addicted to this thing and you can't just sort of relax and be a person. It's very, very evidenced in Los Angeles. You ask someone how they're doing and they tell you what they've been doing. It's like, no, I asked you how you were doing. It's like, great! You know, I just got new headshots. I wrote a pilot. My manager says that she wants me to bleach my hair and put streaks of purple in there because the cheerleaders are really getting cast on television right now, and she wants me to look like more of a cheerleader, but from the 1980s. It's like, no, I just asked you how you were doing. I ran into you at Starbucks, and you just gave me a whole summation on your career. Because it's very, very hard to be versus do. And that sounds like such a self-help thing to say, but it's honestly the truth. Part of being is being uncomfortable with the swamp water in your life and feeling the muck and the mire. And that's what's actually gonna help you, is when you can relax on those things. But I'm going to completely contradict myself and say that's not entirely true, because you can relax too long. You can definitely go live in a dumpster and you can be thinking that you're living your best life. And hey, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? That actually reminds me, I moved to a really bad neighborhood in Van Nuys. It's this neighborhood in Los Angeles to where everyone walking around there looks like a character from Grand Theft Auto. And I went to go live there. And I remember my first day, this is not even a joke, I went to go throw my trash out in the dumpster. And there was a guy with his hands on the waist, doing Superman posture, just standing in the dumpster. He wasn't looking around, he was just standing there confidently with his hands on his waist. And so I sort of like reluctantly was like, okay, what do you want? It was awkward, like, what do you want me to do with this trash bag? He goes, hi! And I was like, hey, how's it going? I'm gonna just pretend like it's normal that I'm talking to a man with a confident posture that's standing in trash. And then he's like, pretty good, you? And I was like, pretty good. And then, like, I just was, like, sort of reluctantly going to throw my trash away. He's like, I'll take that. And then he just grabbed it and set it down. And I was like, okay, well, welcome to Van Nuys. You know, I was so extreme that I would listen to affirmations while I was sleeping that are like, I'm successful, I'm successful, I'm successful. And all that did was, like, stress me out because I would look at a rat running across my floor, hearing, I'm successful, I'm successful. I'm like, ah! Self-help is almost as diverse. That's just kind of a blanket term because you can go so many different routes. You can pick your poison of your self-help. The big thing that I remember that I was hearing about in acting circles about 3 to 4 years ago was don't take anything personal. Just don't take anything personal. Just don't judge. Don't judge. Do not judge. Don't judge people. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge. It's like, which is good advice on the surface, but then you get like these batshit analogies to where people are like, look at a tree. Look at a tree. A tree doesn't judge. It just grows. It's like, yeah, because it's a tree. It's not a human. And people are like, separateness is an illusion. It's like, the tree is there, you're there, the TV's there. It's all just one. Just don't judge. It's like, judging is woven into the very fabric of life. Good, evil, we're gonna judge. Our taste buds judge. Otherwise, you just be eating a turd and drinking swamp water. And it's like, pretty good. It's like, hey, how's that turd taste? It's like, I don't know. I don't know how it tastes. I don't have an opinion. Like when people say don't judge, that also comes with not having an opinion. Everything judges. So there is such a thing as good, and there's such a thing as bad. And so when you're just like, don't judge. Anyways, that was, you can tell that I don't like that type of self-help. People are like, look at the monks. They don't judge. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you wouldn't judge either if you just locked yourself in a room and stared at a wall all day long. It's like, what can you judge? Put the Dalai Lama in Los Angeles traffic and he's going to be spitting on his steering wheel. So, I am not saying don't do self-help. Definitely work on yourself. But for those people out there who you like the way something feels and you like the way something tastes and you just want more and more and more and more, it is best to sometimes sit, here's the cliche advice of this video, and feel your feelings. That's really, really hard. Some people eat their feelings. I like to caffeinate my feelings because when I drink caffeine, it's like the actual, like, I'm like I don't do, but I'm like a CEO that does. You know, because I'll be like, as soon as I drink caffeine, I immediately become optimistic and start talking about the future. That's how I know it's a drug, because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to start a helicopter business. And it's like, what do you know about helicopters? It's like, don't worry about that. But first what we're going to do is we're going to sell these books on eBay. I'm going to start an eBay business. And then after that, I'm going to start a helicopter business. It's like, is that guy on blow? It's like, no, he just drinks too many yerba mates. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I guess what I'm trying to say in a roundabout feeling is feel your feelings. Something can help you up to a point, but when you feel like you have to have that, like I'm at a place right now to where all I really want to hold on to is God. And I know that kind of sounds like, oh, that's sweet. What does that mean? Basically, what I mean by that is the only thing that you can actually hold on to is God. And if you hold on to God truthfully, not in vague lip service, God will prepare the things for you that you are supposed to have in due time. And you also have the ability to be able to enjoy it. There's this Bible verse where it says, God gives a blessing and adds no sorrow to it. And the reason for that, I believe, is because a lot of times when you get something out of your own strength and you worked so hard for it, or if you get it too soon and you didn't actually go through the process, there is sorrow attached to it because you have fake friends, people who abandon you, people who try to abuse what you have and use it for themselves. And so you have to be able to handle that. So this was a little ADD, guys. This is the Friday video, but I don't really know what the lesson was. I did drink coffee today, so that's me kind of machine gunning at you guys. Guys, do not forget to subscribe, leave a comment for the algorithm, and share this with your friends. I'm Matt Jones, and we have videos. Me. Hey, shut up! Another dad joke, and I will see you on the next one.